and welcome to the Mindset RX podcast, a show dedicated to giving functional athletes a champ's mindset. My name is Tom Foxley and I'm the head coach and founder of Mindset RX. Today's show is brought about by kind of a weird realization I had and a way that I realized my own limitations, and I want to transfer that over to you. But before we get into that, there's two things I need to make you aware of. First of all, if you are looking to improve your mindset as an athlete, you need to get in the free Facebook group Mindset for Functional Athletes. As I said, entirely free. It's a support group for athletes, probably a lot like you, who want some accountability in changing their mindset, some more ideas about how to actually go about changing mindset, who want the support of other people and to experience other people's journey and to kind of pluck your own route from these from other people's influence. And then, so if you want to find that, by the way, go to Facebook and search for Mindset for Functional Athletes. And in this podcast, there's also a link just below in the comments, like, or the description or the podcast notes, whatever it's called. Like, you know when you click onto the podcast, and then there's the three little dots on Apple or on Apple device anyway, and it kind of pops up and says, like, this is the description of the show. It's in there. There's a link to the free group in there. Also, you probably want to achieve some sort of goal, I'm guessing, as an athlete, as a human being, as both those things. You've probably got something in mind, but there's a very right way to achieve or set the goals you want to achieve, and there's a very wrong way to do it. Unfortunately, the wrong way is so much more prevalent in our society, so you need to get yourself into a proper way of setting goals and achieving the goals you set. And the way you set your goals will ridiculously reflect on how much of them you achieve. So if you want Mindset RX free goal setting guide, you need to head to mindsetrx.com/goal setting guide. There's no hyphens in there, and Mindset RX is Mindset Romeo X-ray Delta.com/goal setting guide. So you can get that, and it's a complete guide to how I set goals with athletes, from those who are just in it to get a bit fitter and maybe have some limitations but want to still become the best version of themselves, all the way up to CrossFit regionals and games athletes. So this is all about creating changes, this podcast. There's sometimes that you know all you need to know about the problem, about what you need to change. You understand the problem, you understand who you are, you understand your limitations, and you have this, if I did this, this is what I need to be doing. This is like, you know what the problem is and how to change it, and you intellectually understand it. Like, you know the solution, you know your shortcomings, and you know that if you just did it, you'd probably feel a bit better. But there's a juxtaposition. There's something that sits in the way of you actually achieving your goal. There's something that is a restriction to you getting there. So what you need to do is eliminate the restriction. You need to gain some perspective on the scenario, which is easy. Like, easy to say anyway. What's difficult is actually changing it. Because when we intellectualize a problem and its solution, but never internalize it, we never achieve what we want to achieve. So first of all, we have to intellectually understand it, which I'm guessing you do. If you want to lose weight, you should eat better. If you want to become fitter in terms of your aerobic capacity, it's probably to jump on a rower or go out for some long, slow duration stuff. If you want to become more flexible, you probably need to get on mobility WOD or ROM WOD. You know what you should be doing, but you somehow don't. And there's some very common juxtapositions that stand in our way. But one of the best ways to alleviate yourself from this, and to kind of alleviate yourself from this limiting belief and ultimately give you perspective to become who you want to become, is surrounding yourself in the people that show and prove that your limiting belief is essentially bullshit. So there's a great example, and my example is both silly and very pertinent. This example is I for a long time have known that I feel best as an athlete and kind of just a general health way when I intermittently fast. When my eating window is within about 8 to 10 hours, and I just feel like I perform better, especially if I time my training correctly around that. My gut just is so much better, which I'm sure my girlfriend appreciates. I just feel more awake. I don't feel bloated. I can eat almost what I want and it doesn't react to me in a certain way. And I just feel like, yeah, I feel good. Those days when you just feel like switched on, your brain's awake. It's almost like it negates the lack of sleep sometimes, and it feels like I'm just hydrated. It feels really good. But I've had this belief because my strange working hours, like very occasionally, once or twice a week, I coach at CrossFit Allgate, and I do mornings coaching there. So that's like up at 5 o'clock. I generally feel like I need to fuel myself beforehand, because otherwise, if I have a black coffee, which is inevitable, my brain is just like all over the place. So I need to fuel myself beforehand. That's what I've been telling myself. This is my justification for it anyway. I also, Harriet gets back late. My girlfriend gets back late from work quite often. She's got a very demanding job, so we have to kind of adjust that window of eating, which basically meant I had 2 windows spread about 12 to 13 to 14 hours apart of where I could eat. I just held this belief and just assumed it was true, that I couldn't make intermittent fasting work for me. But when I've very recently surrounded myself with not 1, not 2, but 3 individuals who I both respect and who I admire in terms of their athleticism, who also intermittent fast, and here's the crux of it, also have a very demanding schedule in their life, and they struggle to get over it. When I do those things, it means that, or when I surround myself with those people, it casts a light on my own bullshit. I saw through instantly. Like this one guy that I was speaking to after a class, he just went, oh yeah, because I try and cram all my eating within 8 hours. So shit, that's impressive. And it kind of it took a knock to my own ego, to be honest with you, because I know he's busy. He's got a lot of shit on. He trains hard. He trains probably more often than me with the more demanding sessions. He has regular hours that he needs to be out working, unlike me. He's got a lot less going for him in terms of fitting his intermittent fasting, but he still does. And seeing this has been huge for me, because I instantly went, oh, well, I'm going to sort it out. And then I went through the phase of just growing through it and making it work for me. But now I'm making it work for me. Like today is almost like the weekend's been one day different, but today is the 7th day where I've just been making it work for me, and intermittent fasting. And you know what? My general wellness and health has got improved. My awareness, my awakeness has improved, and I just feel lots better. This podcast is feeling much easier than when I don't intermittent fast, for example. So basically, I'm feeling fucking great, and it came from surrounding myself with the type of people that you want to be with. And what this does is it changes these juxtapositions that we hold, these justifications, I think is a better word. What I call them is success conflicts. We'd say I'd only be successful if I wasn't so busy. I know what to do, but I'm just too busy, so I can't do it. Truth is, there's many ways around where you are, but you just haven't got the perspective right now to see that. And that's not a problem with you. You just haven't developed that perspective yet, and it's just it's a way of seeing. But by surrounding yourself with the people that people that disprove that, that's a really beneficial thing to do. Another 3 that just kind of spring to the mind straight away, because they're very common in the athletes that I work with in Mindset RX, or whether I just see them in the CrossFit community anyway. One of them is I don't have enough money to do that. I don't have enough money to commit to a personal trainer. I don't have enough money to commit to a strength coach. I don't have enough money to subscribe to Romward. I don't have enough money. And this goes round and round and round and round. And you obviously look for proof to back that up. And that's pretty much a subconscious thing. You're not consciously deciding, oh yeah, I don't want to improve, so I'm fixing that. But your subconscious mind is saying, look, I want to take that and I'm going to make that proof that I can stay comfortable in this exact example. So you don't make it work. You don't see if you can split the cost with someone else. You don't see if you can spread the payment out over more months. You don't see if there's discounts available. You don't do all that work. Another one, I'm like a full-time parent. I've not only got a job, I've got a full-time parent thing, and I'm trying to train on top of that. And it's very much similar to I don't have the time. Not having the time there's ways around it. Again, there's a juxtaposition, and if you surround yourself with people who are doing both these things, who don't have little, who have little money and who are becoming the type of athlete that you admire, or are the full-time parent and have a full-time job, they're not super people, they're not superhuman. They've found a way that works for them. And surrounding yourself around those type of people allows you to grow. The other one that comes to mind as well is that, like, I'm a late arriver to fitness. I'm a late arriver to CrossFit. I'm a late arriver to whatever sport you're doing. And because of that, I can't get to where someone else is because they've got years of advantage over me. And whilst that's true to some degree, it's not true that you can't become the best version of yourself because of it. Of course, because that's a ridiculous thing to say, because the past has been and it's set, but the future is undetermined, and it relies entirely on your now, what you choose to do now. So, like, that is another one. But surround yourself with masters athletes who found it late. Surround yourself with people in a similar situation to you who know, or that you know want the best for you. That's it. It's that simple. Surround yourself with people who want the best for you. Very, very simple. And also surround yourself with people who disprove your own bullshit. So there's 3 basic stages to this. Number 1, you got to accept that you have limiting beliefs and they're entirely dictating who you are and your lack of success or success thereof. That's number 1. Accepting that your belief system is what keeps you where you are, and your belief system, by changing it, is what will unleash your potential. The other one, and sorry if you can hear a plane in the background, by the way. The next one, is you got to become aware. Now you've accepted you've got this belief, or you got a belief, a structure of beliefs, you've got a worldview that is dictating who you want to become. Now you've accepted that, you need to become aware of how it manifests itself in your day-to-day life, in your behaviors, in your physical symptoms like stress or headaches. Like, that is a massively underlooked one. In your thoughts and your emotional states. In all of those, in those 4 areas, you got to become aware of how it manifests itself and just how much it's limiting you. So you become aware of it. And then thirdly, goes into the process of change. And change is what Mindset RX specializes in. Changing your perspective, your worldview, your limiting beliefs, changing your mindset as a whole is what Mindset RX specializes in. But one thing you can do right now that's kind of something that we can't do for you. Well, actually, I say a lie. We do provide it for you to a certain degree. Like, it's all online. We're in supportive groups. Even the Mindset for Functional Athletes group is a free kind of embedded group that athletes thrive under. But all that's why we run majoritively group, or on the majority group sessions and group training, because it fosters this thing that I'm about to talk about, is surrounding yourself with people who want the best for you, and surrounding yourself with people who disprove your own limiting beliefs. So it's very three simple steps, and that's all part of changing your perspective, all part of changing your mindset, which is essentially Mindset RX. So if you enjoyed this show, please leave a 5-star review on iTunes, because it basically helps more people find the show. And it's the iTunes algorithm, the more 5-star views, the higher the show bumps up in the charts in iTunes. So there's that. Also, head on over to Mindset for Functional Athletes. Surround yourself with some athletes who want the best for you, and also get a sneak peek on a lot of coaching stuff we do. And then the other thing as well, if you want to become the best athlete as possible, you need some goals to work towards. You need to understand who you want to be. You need to understand your point B as well as your point A, like basically where you want to get to as well as where you are. And you can do this by going to mindsetrx.com/goal setting guide. And now, until next time, keep on training, keep on crushing life, and I'll speak to you very soon.